Hi everyone, my name is Tanairy and I'm here to share a video with you guys of readings that I think that everyone should read once in their lifetime. These books that I'm about to share with you are in no way meant to say if you read them it's going to change your life. It's just books that I personally have read in a point of my life where either I was not feeling well, feeling depressed, or just needing a word that will inspire me to move on in life and not be stuck on where I was. A lot of you guys don't know, but I had cancer twice, and most of my time it's been reading. Like, all I do is read. That's pretty much what I do. And I got the attention last year. I had set a goal of reading 50 books before the end of the year, which I reached 66, and because of that a lot of people are like, why, how do you do it, like when do you find the time to read, and what type of books do you read? I started mid last year to share pictures of quotes from books that I have read that I really think that it will inspire anyone who read it. Not necessarily I will post them for anything in specific in my life. It's just I see that when you share something either positive or something that is for a better outcome, people will relate and they will like to know more about it. And that's why I decided to do this video, because a lot of people has been doing that. Like, I will share a little quote or a say from a book, and people will be interested on it, and people will be like, hey, so what's the name of the book, what else do you recommend to read? And that's the purpose of this video. Not only that, depending how it comes out, I really would like to keep doing it because it's gonna be a way to be entertained, as I read a lot and I don't have a lot of people to talk about books, just a few, and I can get very obnoxious when I read a book and I want everyone to read the book because it's really good. So this is gonna be kind of like a vent out type of book story video time, whatever you want to call it. It's for fun. There's nothing behind me making these videos. It's more about trying to inspire you guys to read more, because I do know that a lot of you are busy with life, as everyone is. There are some times that I don't get to read, and it makes me sad because that's what I enjoy doing besides photography. I like to sit down and read. I don't care like where I'm at. I will go and eat by myself in a store, like in a restaurant, and I will have a book with me, and people will look at me every time I throw a fit because I'll be reading and I'll be like, oh, no way, and people will just stare at me like, oh my god, like, why do you even read these days? I'm like, why are you on the phone? Like, phones comes and goes, and technology comes and goes, but books have stories that will never be told, because there's so many books to talk about, so many books to make a video, and like movies. So that's what I'm here for, to share books that you never actually seen them before and never heard about them. So that's what I'm here for. So books that I actually think that everyone at least should read once in their life. And again, these books are not self-improvement books. That's another topic. These are books that are fiction, have a story. Books in general, like, let's just picture like every type of book, whether it's from fiction, reality, based in reality, or a kid's story. Like, I'm a very believer that any book you read, you will get the message out from what the author is trying to tell you. So these are the books that I think that at least once in your life you should read, because you're going to get something out of it. There is one book that is based off religion, but you don't need to be part of the religion that the book is to get what the book is about. I'll explain that in detail later. But first, I want to start by sharing The Alchemist. The Alchemist. It's a book by Paulo Coelho. Paulo Coelho. He is a Brazilian author. I'm trying to find my phone, which I can't find it now. But I will throw a picture of the book. I will try to put a picture wherever, either here or in my face, whatever, when I edit the video. This book, it's about a guy who goes on a journey in life, and he met this other guy, and basically is giving him a lecture of life. And it is not necessarily about one thing, it's about so many things. And it's a book that will get very deep to you if it's a very short reading. It doesn't have chapters, so if you're the type of person that would like to read like 1 or 2 pages and then stop, it's a perfect book. I wish I could bring it down, but it's very high up. No, hold on. I think it's behind me. Yeah, it's behind me. Hold on. Here it is. So, let me put this down. So, the book is very short. It only has 190 pages, but it's pretty short. Like, let me give you an example. So, it doesn't have chapters, but you can cut the reading. Like, if you read this and then you will cut off here, you won't get lost by reading the next page. So you can put it down tonight and then pick it up tomorrow night, and you won't get lost within the story, if that makes any sense. I don't know if it makes sense, but to me it does. So that will be the first one. Let me show you the how it looks. This is the Spanish version, but this book's been translated, if I'm not mistaken, in more than like 80 languages. Is it 80 languages? I'm not 100% sure. But, yes. It is in Spanish and English. The English version has an orange cover. And that's his name. Paulo Coelho. The Alchemist. So that's the first one. The second one that I want to talk about that I don't have because my mother took, and she's reading it at the moment, which makes me very proud because she already saw the movie, but she hasn't read the book, and the book is way better than the movie, is The Shack. And it's W. Young Paul is the author who, yes, hold on, here it is. Sorry, guys. He is the guy who wrote it. He has multiple books, and as I said, this is the book that I'm talking about. Not this per se, but The Shack. You can read it right there. He is the person who wrote the book of The Shack, and there is actually a movie about it. What's her name? The lady who does, what's her name? She's a very famous African-American actress. Oh God, I will figure it out later because I don't have my phone now, and I don't know where it is to try to find the damn. Hold on. Here it is. Okay, so the movie came out recently, and the movie is pretty close to the book. However, the way that the author wrote the book, it's beautiful. It's a book that if you have kids, you have to read this book. Not necessarily if you do have kids, but it will get more to you in the way. If I talk more about it, I will give you a spoiler, and I don't want to do that. So, but it's a very deep, touching book. Like, and as I said, you don't have to be religious. You don't have to be a Christian. You don't have to be a Catholic. You don't have to be an evangelist. You just have to believe something is bigger than you, and like it has more power than us, for you to take the beauty out of the book. And as I said, it makes you angry, it makes you happy, it makes you sad. It's a perfect book. And as I said, it talks about things that empower each person. Like, it makes you grow as a person. It shows you how to forgive. even though a lot of us say, oh yeah, I'll forgive you for what you did, or yeah, I guess it should be fine, that book will teach you how much you can hold into things and how much is going to affect you. Both of them, the first one and the second one, those books are the top of books that I like the most, because it gives you a story that makes you think. It makes you stop in life and say, okay, hold on, what am I doing with my life? Why am I acting this way? Those are the type of books that I read. And not necessarily this type of books, but even books that are for kids. I do the exactly same thing, because depending on what you read, yes, it's going to be maybe a fiction story. But there are some other books that are within fiction, but it has a meaning behind it. And that's what I read. Like, I read books that they're meant for people to read it because something has to change right here. So those books are about that. Which I'm pretty sure I'm not making any sense, but if you decide to read it, you will understand what I'm trying to talk about. Alright, so The Alchemist, The Shack, what's that name in Spanish is El Caballero de la Armadura Oxidada, and in English is The Knight in the Rusty Armor, and it's written by Robert Fisher. He has 3 books, and in his book, in the back of the book, where he's actually introducing you to the book, he says the book is for kids, adults, and elderly people. Why? It's a journey. Like, a lot of us, I'm including myself to it, and I get goosebumps when I say it, we judge things and we think that we're walking in the right path, but until you hit a wall, it's when you figure it out that, hey, I'm doing something wrong in life. So this book is very cute. It's more about into a reading for kids, but the meaning behind the book, it will get to you very deep in your heart and very under your skin. I recommend this to everyone, and especially, like, if you're gonna read The Knight in the Rusty Armor, that's the name of it. I would want to show you the picture. I don't know if you'll be able to see it. There it is. Hold on. There you go. If you decide to read the book, you will love it. I actually have read that book 3 times in the past 10 years, and every single time I grab it and read it, it's a whole different feeling, a whole different lecture, and a whole different learning experience, because depending on on what you're going through, you're gonna get the most out of the book. And it's amazing. It's a very, very amazing book, and especially if you have kids and you want to teach them in a fun way, that will be the best way, because again, it's a knight that is on his horse and he's wearing his armor. Only thing is that he can come out of the armor because he wore it too much, and from there on, it's where he goes to a path to try to meet this person, this wizard, who will teach him how to come out of it. Because of it, he's losing his wife, and that's a whole nother story, because that jumps into the second book, and that's another awesome book, and that I recommend for couples. His second book, I do believe, is for couples, because it brings his story when he's inside of the armor, and then her story because he doesn't listen and he doesn't want to come out of his armor. So that's a very good book for couples to read, the second book. Not necessarily you will read the first one to understand the second one, but I do totally recommend for you to read the first one so you can get the full experience of the 3 books. What else? I already talked about 2, 3. Yes, 3. Oh, this next book, you can find it in audio in Spanish in in YouTube, because I actually found, that's how I found it, in YouTube. And the name of it in Spanish is El Sendero del Mago. In English is The Way of the Wizard, and is wrote by Deepak Chopra. Yes, I'm sorry, I can't pronounce his name. Deepak Chopra. That's the book in English. That's how it looks in English. This is another way of like learning new ways to become a better person. It's unbelievable. Like, as I said, all of these books are very related to each other, so I'm going to be repeating myself in this one. It's the type of book that when you read it, you're going to question the actions that you're doing in life right now, the way you're acting, and the way you're thinking. Like, as simple as saying, like, why am I judging people so much and not judging myself more? Like, it's one of the type of books, like, you can't get enough of it. You will read it or listen to it multiple times. I share this with one of my friends, and she's like, I love it. Like, she's always busy, and I read it, and I heard it, I'm sorry, I heard it, and I'm like, she is going to like it, because she's the type of person that she likes self-improvement books. This is one of it. Like, it's a story, as I said, from a wizard, but it shows you how to better improve yourself. Like, I think all of them are about wizards showing you how to improve yourself. I think I'm going to Harry Potter word. Sorry, guys. But, yeah, so if you want to, like, read something that it will show you, or how can you relate, any of the books that I showed today will help you do that. And again, as I said, I'll be trying to make more videos like this once in a while about either books that I like, book of fantasy, mangas, because I read mangas too, and that's because of someone's fault that I have read a lot in this past 6 months. It's insane how many books I have read in the 6 months. But yeah, so I hope you like it. I know that it's going to be a very long video, but promise I'll get better in the next one. If you have any questions, or if you want to know more about the books, let me know. I will try to leave them down in the comments section, so that way you know which one is it, and I will try to link either Amazon or Goodreads, so that way you know which one I'm talking about. If you have any questions, comment down below which one you are interested in reading, so that way I can know what else to talk about in the next video. So, bye!